Gearbox and Randy Pitchford really expected Borderlands 4 to be a massive release, and it certainly hasn't been. It has faced so many controversies before and after release, and now it looks like they are being raked across the coals by gamers yet again because it is on sale after only a month, as it is still trailing behind Borderlands 3. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this game has already gone through so many problems. Randy Pitchford saying if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to spend more money on this title. At release, it had a lot of technical difficulties, and now a month later, not only has it already lost a major amount of players, but it's already on sale. So this is a Forbes article that I'll start off with. It says, as of this week, Borderlands 4 is on sale on Steam in many regions, 20% off, down from $70 to $56, which you might be saying to yourself, isn't the biggest discount ever. But when you are talking about a AAA release, having to wait 30 days is definitely worth not buying games at launch anymore. Because if you are going to insult the players who decided to invest in your experience, that is absolutely going to lose you customers in the future and lose you respect. And I understand all games eventually go on sale, but you could at least wait 2, maybe 3 months. But of course, we're nearing the holidays. They want to sell as many copies as possible, and they don't care if people feel a little bit insulted because it means more money in their pockets. It says players have noted that this is just a month after launch, and it seems to contradict something Gearbox head Randy Pitchford said about BL4 not going on sale for a long time, which is absolutely hilarious that he speaks and the opposite comes true. He said, oh, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to spend more money on this game. And what happened? Less people than anticipated bought it. Now you have him, of course, looking like an idiot because he said, oh, it's not going to go on sale for a very, very long time. But now that it's not selling, right, it has to go on sale, meaning he looks like a buffoon. And I get that there's a team of people behind a game this big that make these decisions, but at the same time, he shouldn't make promises that most likely can't be kept. So it says this would all seem to reinforce to some degree the idea that Borderlands 4 is underperforming Borderlands 3. We had data before this that said, 1. Borderlands 3 sold 5 million copies in 5 days. This was while being an Epic Games Store PC exclusive. 2. Borderlands 4 had 2.5 million players across all platforms, including Steam, in its first week. 3. The budget for Borderlands 4 is more than double that of Borderlands 3, according to Pitchford himself. This was back when he was criticized for implying that the game might cost $80. It, of course, ended up costing $70. He said Borderlands 4 has more than twice the development budget than Borderlands 3, more than twice, and that may put it somewhere around $300 million. If so, and to top all of that off, we do know that now, only a month later, the player counts have drastically declined. This game has already lost about 85% of its Steam players 1 month after release, and of course it is a single-player experience, so this was always bound to happen. People get through the campaign, they do some endgame, then they drop the title until they put out a major wave of DLC, but at the same time, when you are talking about the game already going on sale, it not making its money back, the player counts drastically declining, and all of the backlash that they faced, I'm curious to see if they will set this game and forget it, because if they don't make back the development costs, never mind start making a profit, there's no way that they're going to keep people around and on the payroll in order to make more content going forward. Like, that's just not going to be a financially feasible option. So we don't even know if really all of those plans that we assume they had in the first place are even going to happen now. It says the point is that Borderlands 4 has a steep hill to climb, and perhaps a significant one, if it's underperforming Borderlands 3. And close to release, we had heard that this was the case. The Borderlands 4 sales report suggests it's selling slower than Borderlands 3. And I think that there is one major reason why it would be, and that's that Borderlands 3 really killed the franchise for a lot of people. And so there were a lot of gamers who decided, I'm not going to support Borderlands 4 until it's on a deep discount or my favorite content creators review it and say that it's absolutely amazing. But of course, that didn't happen. Though Borderlands 3 was a game that was extremely hyped up, and it wasn't until after release that people realized they weren't a big fan of the direction they were taking the series in, and then they had vowed to themselves, I'm not going to buy the next game. So I think that with Borderlands 3, a lot more people were in line and did ultimately support it, but with BL4, a lot of people withheld their funds. They decided not to swipe their credit card, and well, that's good for gamers that so many people held their ground and said, nope, I'm not going to support this at release. But they were trying, of course, to say closer to the release of 4 a month ago that, oh, it's going to take time, but it'll be fine in the end, which doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Going back to the Forbes article, though, it says Borderlands 4 is already on sale, 20% off in all countries. Offer lasts until October 20th. Most probably a push to get more players in before Horrors of Kairos and Bounty Pack 1. And yep, it shows the entire list. And as for this other Randy quote about Borderlands 4 going on sale, that's a little more nebulous in terms of being a pure contradiction. In June of this year, Pitchford commented on a Steam summer sale price of $3 for Borderlands 3, 95% off its original price. Here's what he said. Sales like this in Borderlands 3 showing up on console subscription programs took over 5 years from the game's launch, and to set expectations, it will be even longer before this kind of thing happens in the next cycle with Borderlands 4. I'm actually one to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. Sales like this references something insane like a 95% off spot, and of course the Access media is going to say, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and this is definitely what he meant, because of course they need to keep their access in this industry. If Paul Tassies of this world no longer get review codes and they don't get exclusive interviews and extra content to share with their audiences early, they lose any sort of notoriety they have in this industry, any sort of authority that they have in this industry. But they're not talking about the fact that gamers are extremely upset over the fact that it's already on sale, even though Randy Pitchford seemingly had promised that this wasn't going to happen anytime soon. Ain't no way Borderlands 4 is already on sale. Borderlands 4, $55 on Xbox Live. Wait, Randy said no discounts anytime soon. Randy's not gonna like this. What a slap in the face to customers. Game failed already. It dropped in price. Borderlands 4 already on 20% off sale a month after release. I've seen this somewhere else before. He said that it wouldn't go on sale for a long time, though. How is Borderlands 4 on sale 1 month after I just paid $70 for that shit? Stupid a-holes, never again. Do my eyes deceive me, or is this already on sale? Borderlands 4 already under $60. Who would have guessed it? It's happening. The premium game for premium gamers. Borderlands 4 is on sale a month after release. I feel bad for all the people working on the game that had their butthead of a boss having to turn off a lot of people from the game. Plus, the terrible performance probably doesn't help. So I'm curious to see if Randy makes any statements on this, if he tries to stay silent and play dumb and say, I never meant it that way. Of course you guys misinterpreted what I said and misunderstood what I said, because he does seem to do that quite a lot, though. As of right now, Borderlands 4 has lost a lot of players. It seemingly has not sold even as well as 3 at this point, and it is on sale a month after launch. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.